Is uni even worth it these days for a marketing career?
Welcome to the Marketing Mentors podcast brought to you by Red Pandas Digital. My name's Linda and I'm here with Tasha, and in today's episode we're talking about whether uni is worth it for a marketing career. We actually got this question from one of our listeners, Bass, so thanks Bass for sending that through. Tasha and I have had a little bit of discussion about this, not too much because we wanted to save it for the podcast, but I feel like today's going to be a really interesting one because we both have different journeys on how we got into the marketing industry.
Yep.
Myself, I do have a degree in marketing. I studied at uni quite some time ago now. I did a Bachelor of Commerce majoring in marketing, and I did it alongside psychological science. But Tasha also has tertiary experience, but not in marketing. Tasha, do you want to elaborate?
Yeah, no, I'd love to. And I love that you said tertiary experience. Linda and I had a joke earlier this week. We couldn't remember the word. We knew that it was related to the word third, but third education is not what we were after. So yes, tertiary education. I went to uni for a Bachelor of Education in early childhood, so birth to 5, funnily enough. So I can teach, I can train, but just the little ones. I was going to continue on to primary schooling, but then I actually landed a job in a childcare centre, which is actually what kicked off my whole marketing career. So I was working in this childcare centre. I was doing, really well in the room, and then my goals at the time were to become a centre director and run a centre on my own and all that type of stuff. But, an opportunity came up within the organisation to actually go into the head office and support them with their sales and marketing. Funnily enough, I was like, well, yeah, I'm an opportunist. I'm always looking for the next thing. So I said, yep, cool, I'm keen for it. And what worked out really well is that I had this kind of like trained knowledge in childcare and this experience. So it worked quite well in selling it because I knew very well what I was selling and marketing. But I had no marketing ideas at all. And then my boss at the time came and said, oh, can you just make a website? And I was like, what's WordPress? What's CMS? I had no idea what any of these things were. I had to learn on the job. I was connected with agencies. I was connected with developers and resources and all that type of stuff, and had to learn a lot of this stuff. As you probably heard the saying, build the plane whilst I'm flying it. Literally was doing that at a really young age, mind you. So made a lot of mistakes. And then, whilst I was working there, it got to a point where the company had so many centres. I was not so many, with 2 or 3. And
At the time, it felt like a lot.
Yeah, it felt like a lot at the time. They have a lot now, actually. But back then, they had 2. I think we were going into our 3rd centre. And I remember saying to my boss, it's about time we hire someone that, knows marketing, because I don't know. What I meant to say, obviously, in hindsight, now I know what I should have said, was we need a more strategic approach.
Were you learning anything tactical on the
So much stuff. And HubSpot had come around as well at the same time. So I was smashing their certifications and their trainings because that was it was available to me. And I always had that kind of mindset of wanting to learn and grow. I just didn't know which way to go. I did have a mentor that came in later in the piece. Funnily enough, it's Moby, my mentor, still is. But prior to meeting Moby and learning more about what I needed in that role and for that business, it was very much like Google was my main resource.
Yep.
And my boss would say, we need a marketing strategy, and I was like, I have no idea where to start. Mm-hmm. So after that, obviously I got some mentoring. We found a marketing strategist who at the time was actually Moby. So he came on Red Pandas, and Moby came on to the client, and that's what really kick-started my marketing career. From there, I went and worked at a digital marketing agency. And then I started to build upon the knowledge that I already had. But a lot of it was self-taught and kind of self-picked up on. That's my story. Hence why I'm kind of a little bit I am of the opinion that you don't need a marketing degree to work in marketing. But I'm really keen to hear what your story is, Linda.
I think everything post-degree, to be honest, for you and I, post my first job is very, very similar, can I just say, in regards to the self-teaching. But I guess just to take it back, so I was studying marketing. In my final year, I had to do an internship as part of the uni's way for me to accumulate credit for that course, right? So I did an internship. I did 6 months for a not-for-profit and went through the hiring process as they do to filter out who they want in that role. I got that role. From there, I graduated and I went on a little holiday, to be honest, just to congratulate myself. And the guy, James, who hired me as part of that internship, reached out to me and said, hey, like, I'm working elsewhere now. I have a role. It's a new role. I'd love you to join and come on board. So in that first role, this is where, for me, I was relying on a lot of the theory that I learnt at uni, because, like I said, it was a brand new role for marketing resource in New South Wales. I didn't have anyone else to lean on when it came to marketing. So actually, I remember I had my uni books in my office, and when I'd be tasked to create a campaign, I'd have to open up the uni books, refer to things, refresh my memory on the things that I've learnt the theory, and then apply that. Alongside that, though, I did a lot of the self-teaching stuff. So I was always online, like I was on any courses. You know, you can find a lot of free ones online, whether it was SEO, whether it was web dev stuff, whether it was like basic coding, and just every aspect of marketing, I was teaching myself. And it's funny because I did a uni degree and the theory was great, but I will say that a lot of the day-to-day stuff, I kind of had to teach myself.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have anyone around me. And the theory, to be honest, I felt like was great further down the track, when jobs became more strategic. Mm-hmm. You know, it's embedded in you, and it's good to have this theory behind you. And I do recommend it for people interested in, you know, becoming a marketer.
Yeah.
But whether it's uni or whether it's just having the discipline, like learning the discipline, I think that that's more so important. So less around the actual uni degree and just more about making sure that you upskill and you're constantly learning, because marketing is an ever evolving industry.
Yes,
it doesn't stay the same.
I remember thinking when I went full time into the marketing space, I asked my mentor at the time, like, do I go to uni and get a marketing degree? Like, I asked those exact questions, and his honest opinion was, it's not really worth it. Like, he had one and has one, sorry. And, you know, I was obviously learning a lot through him, but I think where maybe I lacked at a younger age, which I've picked up now through experience, but where I lacked was definitely just the theory around, you know, SWOT analysis and competitive analysis and strategy building and campaign best practices. But like, stuff that, you can Google search it and get some info on, but nothing beats experience, which you and I now have, you know, like almost 10 years into our careers. Actually, it's probably like 10 years now. If anyone can do maths, they'll figure out how old we are, Linda. But that's fine. So almost, you know, 10 years into our careers, and it's like, okay, like this experience allows us to speak to why we think uni degrees are worth it or not. I loved uni. I'm not saying don't go to uni if it's for you and you know what you want to do. Like, there's a lot of pressure on everyone to know what they need to do by 17. So that's another podcast topic. But, you know, I really enjoyed uni, and I did love the formal schooling. I think that definitely helped me with discipline and learning how to be a good learner and ask the right questions and, you know, teach myself so that I do go into my role, my job, and I have a problem and I find a solution.
I feel like there's two main ways which people fall into marketing careers, right? You have your young, finish high school, this is the career I want, go do my education, then try and find a job. And then there's the side where there's so many pioneers that you and I know of, household names when it comes to marketing, that were businesswomen and businessmen that needed to figure out a way how to connect with people. Mm-hmm. The likes of Gary Vee, Marcus Sheridan, business people that had an issue or a problem that they needed to solve when it came to marketing. But I guess back on the route that I took, one thing I will say with a uni degree, and something that I found and I continue to find, is a lot of first year jobs, like straight out of uni when you graduate, a lot of the jobs they put up is like, you know, needs a uni degree, 3 years experience.
Bullshit. Yeah.
They're already so hard because the criteria is so ridiculous. And so I feel like it does give you an advantage to have that formal qualification behind you.
Yeah, let's be real. If someone applied for a content marketing position, you know, and let's say it is apples and apples. We've got two young candidates straight out of, let's say, so like they're in their early 20s. One has a marketing degree and the other one, maybe they've traveled a little bit more. Regardless, and I'm not trying to say one is better than the other, guys. That's not what I'm saying. It's just the one with the marketing degree is probably going to be more hireable.
Yeah.
And I'll say that, like, even though I don't have a marketing degree.
Can I say though, T, I agree with you, right? I do think like equal and equal marketing degree, it makes sense that the recruiter is going to hire the one with the uni degree.
Yeah.
But I will say, I think, let's compare the same two people. One person went to uni and one person didn't go to uni, but they want to be in marketing. I feel like, and I could be generalizing, but I feel like the person that didn't go to uni knows that they're kind of behind in that theory. So therefore may be more proactive in teaching themselves. Yeah. Doing online courses, reading books, seeking a mentor. Yeah, 100%. All of those things, because they know that they want to be in this industry. They don't have the formal education. They don't want it. They can do it this way online and probably a lot quicker. Whereas the person that has that uni degree may not feel it is as important to self-skill because I've just gone through a 4-year degree.
Yeah, for sure. Possibly. I reckon I felt that way. I reckon I did, for sure. I was kind of like, it was a little bit of imposter syndrome, to be quite honest, where I was kind of like, should I be in marketing? Like, put me in a classroom full of toddlers, I'll smash it. Do you know what I mean? That's my training. I never doubted my ability there because I've got that formal training. Yeah, and that's a really good point, Linda. I didn't think of it that way, but it definitely could be something that people feel when they're in that marketing. And that could be anywhere, really, not just in this industry.
That's true. Then there's the other side of it, right? Which is like the likes of Gary Vee, Marcus Sheridan, who are further in their careers, not even in marketing. They have a business, but they know that they need to learn marketing to solve sort of problem that they have. And I know that you have some information around that, but I guess from a Marcus Sheridan, actually, you know what, from a Gary Vee point of view, right? We know that he was a businessman that was in business. He was trying to solve an issue for multiple businesses of his. And so he turned to the likes of social media and leveraging YouTube and social media. And he's become, I mean, like a household name really at this point. And he didn't have that formal education. Yeah. But I know he has this quote, and it's around observing winners that win. Mm-hmm. Basically what that means is with marketing, you just need to replicate things that you see people doing well. Yep. And do that yourself. Yeah. And test and try new campaigns.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like that's I get that, but then there's obviously so much work in the trenches that's done not to be missed or discredited. Yeah. It's so funny though, because we actually saw a post from Marcus Sheridan this morning on LinkedIn. That's what I'm looking at if anyone sees me scrolling. I'm not just sitting here on Facebook, but and his post was, and if anyone's listening to this part, definitely go on LinkedIn, stalk Marcus Sheridan and look at his post on general observation. Many of the best marketing minds in the world studied zero marketing in college. As for what this means, I'll let you decide. Look, it's had like over 100 comments and reactions and stuff on it. I'm not going to talk about all of them, but such a mixed opinion. Mm-hmm. And it's funny that he posted it today, and this was our planned podcast topic, because I think it might be a bit of a thing going around where people might not realise that that maybe they're questioning themselves and they're not sure what they should or shouldn't be doing. I think it's important. It's not about education. It's more just like what you want for yourself and your goals. And if your personal goal or objective is to get a degree and you're interested in marketing and you look at the marketing course and it suits what you want, ticks the checklist that you have for yourself and is going to help you get to your goal, then do it. Like, who's anyone to stop you from doing that? Uni's not for everyone. Yeah. I enjoyed it for the time that I was there. I don't think I would ever go back, in all honesty. Like, I love working full-time and earning a full-time wage, so that's the best part. But I think at the end of the day, whatever it is that you're battling with, if it's a decision as to study or not study, really kind of peel back and ask yourself what the goal is and your objective. And if it's to get a big career or a big job at a big company as a head of marketing, then maybe that degree is actually going to really help you get there, because like we said before, it's probably going to make you look a little bit more hireable. So now you've got experience, you've got a marketing degree, like you tick, 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 tick. Do you know what I mean?
But I guess the point is to get to that, marketing manager role, although it is desirable, I'd say, for a lot of like big corporations anyway, to have that uni degree, it's still possible in this day and age to
it is.
Start in a smaller role and then work your way up within that company.
That's it. Without a degree.
Yeah. I think
Without
the main thing here is just always be working on upskilling yourself.
Yeah. Growth mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's where, you and I, whereas we've got different uni degrees, I think it doesn't matter what they are. We're both in this growth mindset together. And we're always learning with everyone and with each other mainly. Every day we're learning something new. And we're not opposed to learning more and going on journeys to learn more and being a beginner again. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you kind of have to in marketing, to be honest.
Every day.
There's new technology every few years and new social media channels.
Just when you think you've mastered something, like, oh, far out, here we go.
Yeah, here we go.
Let's get our beginner, our little L plates out again and start learning this. But it's awesome. It's so awesome. I think, and the experience of going through what we've been through allows us to have that open mindset to be like, yep, like, what's new? Let me grab it, let me master it and keep moving with it.
Yeah.
Any finishing or final thoughts on this topic, Linda?
I think in the end for me, I think it doesn't really matter too much. I think that you can be in marketing with or without a uni degree. Like Tasha said earlier, I think the end goal and objective is really important. If you want that GM of marketing role in a big corporate, then maybe uni might be the route for you. But if that's not end game, if you're just trying to solve businesses' problems and help them and resource them, then, it's about who you know as well.
Yeah.
And it is.
Yeah.
And I think as well, it's just about making sure that you keep learning.
Yeah. I love that. Keep learning. All right. Thank you so much for today's episode, Linda, and for Bass for submitting that question. We really appreciate it. And anyone listening, please feel free to share your questions, your thoughts, your comments, your feedback on this episode or any others. This podcast is brought to you guys to answer your questions about marketing, digital marketing, mentoring, really anything in that kind of like digital space. So please hit Linda and I up on LinkedIn. Or visit our website at redpandas.com.au. Until next time, thank you.